Okay, welcome to the third type of factual speech that we discussed this semester. And this is about descriptive speech. Previously, the first one was recount and second one was report. Now we come to this part where we study descriptive speech. Okay? Now, in this part, especially in this video, I'd like to focus on explaining on how something or someone looks, this description of someone or something, and how something sounds or feel or behaves so the audience can imagine it clearly. You have to listen to this video till the end because, of course, you will have your assignment at the end of the slide. And after that, you have to prepare for your own speech next week, okay? The first one I'd like to explain is the definition and social function. Second of all, would be the language features and generic structure, vocabulary, sample speech, and of course, your favorite, the assignment for next week. Okay, now we go to the first part of my presentation. The first one is answering the question, what is a descriptive speech? So, a descriptive speech presents a detailed picture of a person, place, object, or phenomenon using vivid language. Remember that previously in report genre, you have to explain general class or in general. Like if you want to explain about a cat, you cannot or you couldn't do that in previous report speech. Now you can give it a name. You can have a cat. You can have a person to explain or to describe because this is the time for descriptive speech. The purpose of a descriptive speech is to create a clear mental image for the audience. You want to make them imagine the person, imagine the thing that you explain. So you have to be as vivid as possible or as visual as possible. Now, of course, you have to focus on the appearance of someone or something. So you have to focus on the qualities, the feelings, or the atmosphere of the thing that you describe. And of course, using the time orientation, not like recount in the first part of our semester, that recount used past tense, but now descriptive speech is more like a report using time orientation, like timeless, or uses present tense. Now, next thing is that the social function of a descriptive text. Okay, the social function, at least there are five of the social function. When you explain to people about the description about something, the first one is you want to inform, to give factual details about people, about places or objects. And then you try to visualize to help listeners imagine sensory feature such as sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. So in this case, you're no longer thinking about a scientific approach. You're thinking about how do you feel? How do you taste it? How do you smell it? How do you touch it? Create like sound, imagination of sound, for example. And then the social function number three is to appreciate. You want to encourage admiration or understanding of the subject. You, at least in descriptive, you try to display the thing that you explain in a positive way so people like it, okay, so people would like to go there. If you explain a place, you want to make people to go there. Or you explain a car, you want to explain how cute it is or how exquisite it is, how rare it is, right? So that's the third function of descriptive text. And number four is to record. Okay, you want to remember something. In order to record it, you have to preserve the memory of special people or places. Okay, and then the last one is you want to promote, for example, to promote tourism, to promote products or institution through engaging description. So your descriptions are not allowed to be dull. It's not allowed to be boring. You have to be creative. You have to look for words or color or the smell, right? You want to make people sense what you trying to explain there. Okay. Now we move to the next part, that is the types of descriptive speech. So next time you make your own descriptive speech, you can choose to describe a person. For example, the title is My Inspiring Teacher. So explain the physical appearance, the personality, the habits, and maybe why you admire him, okay, or her, right? And then it's not always about a person. You can choose the other one, the descriptive speech about place. For example, the scenery, the atmosphere, the landmarks. For example, the title is Semarang Old Town. You explain how good it is and how beautiful it is. Or you want to explain an object. For example, my favorite bicycle. So how do I know about your bicycle? Tell me the story. Tell me the description, the shape, the color, the function, why it's different from any other bicycle and stuff. Okay? Or you want to explain on animal behavior, animal habitat, and animal traits. For example, you try to explain on the Komodo dragon. Now, the event and the situation, you want to explain not a person, not a place, not an object, not an animal, but you want to explain an event, a situation, the mood, the participants, the setting. For example, you're talking about graduation day. Okay. Now we go to the grammatical characteristics of descriptive. The first one, you have to use simple present tense. Do not forget that this is not recount, this is not narrative. So you have to use simple present tense. For example, Borobudur temple stands in Central Java. Not stood, not will stand, but use stands only. Simple present tense. The second one is you want to explain the relational verbs like be could be is mr is mr, right? And then seem, look, feel, appear, for example. Wow, the mountain appears to be big, right? So attributive adjectives such as tall, elegant, peaceful, beautiful, windy, for example. And then you can use like linking verbs for impression. For example, smells, fresh. So smells is the one which link fresh and the subject before. Smells fresh. Sounds beautiful. Let's go to the concert. Wow, sounds beautiful. The concert sound beautiful. Okay. And then grammatical characteristics. The grammatical characteristic number two here, I mean, this is the continuation of the previous one. This is the part one, one, two, three, four. Simple present tense, relational verbs, attributive adjectives, and linking verbs for impression. And then we continue grammatical characteristic part two, specific participants. For example, a particular object of a person. Last time, I didn't allow you to mention certain boy band or certain artist or certain K-pop singer. No, but now you can. This is the time for you guys who want to explain a person, a singular person, or a band, or a bicycle, or a motorcycle. It's up to you. Use present tense consistency to describe facts and features. And then you can also use adjectival phrases and comparisons. For example, you can use bright, but that's too simple. You can use as bright as sunlight, for example. And then you can also use special order, not special, but special. This one is from the word space. Space means place. So you use the place, spatial order, to describe from the top to bottom, left to the right, outside to inside. This is about location. So special order is about location. Next is about the generic structure. The generic structure of a description is very simple. The first one is the identification and the introduction of the subject. That is the name of the place, the name of the person, and the type of the person or something. Just mention something like Bromo Mountain is one of the most famous volcanoes in Indonesia. And after you explain the name and the type, and then you just describe the features, describe the qualities, describe the details. For example, after mentioning Bromo Mountain is one of the most famous volcanoes in Indonesia, Then you just explain it has a white crater surrounded by mist and a beautiful sunrise view. So, and continue so on and so forth. What happened to the land? What happened to the people around there? And this is like explanation of how visual it is about Bromo Mountain. And then you can also use some of the following vocabulary banks. For example, if you want to use adjective like for appearance, you can use the word like beautiful, majestic, vibrant, sparkling, elegant. Or you can use adjective for personality of a person. For example, oh, he's a kind person, he's a humble person, he's a cheerful person, or a determined person. Okay, so you can also use sensory words, something that you can feel, you can taste, or you can smell. Fragrant for something which has like good smell. Fragrant, smooth, salty on the mouth, and then glowing or melodious. And then you can also use special connectors on the left, in the middle, behind me. There's a horse, for example, and next to. Or you use evaluative phrases, something like I admire. In the report, you cannot really use this word, but now you can use it. In report, you have to be more scientific. Now you can be more personal. In descriptive, you can be more personal. In the previous one, in report, you cannot be personal. It could be like more likely we want you to be more scientific. Okay. So in this case, it's allowed for you to use I admire. It gives a sense of and what makes it special. Okay. Now, you can use this is the example that I give you. For example, I like to have a very short speech about my campus garden. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to explain to you or describe to you the campus on or the garden in my campus. At the center of our campus lies a small garden filled with bright flowers and shady trees. Each morning, the sunlight filters through the leaves while the students sit on the benches and reading books. The air smells fresh, and the sound of birds makes the place feel peaceful. This garden is the heart of our campus life. Okay? And that is your next week assignment, guys. Assignment for next week, you have to have 3-minute individual speech in descriptive genre. The goal is to deliver a vivid, well-organized description of a person, place, object, or event. The structure is, of course, first you identify the description, 2 or 3 aspects, and then you have first identification and then description and then personal reflection of your own to say whether it's beautiful, majestic, fun, or something. The language rules, check out the previous slide about language rules or grammatical rules. Present tense, relational verbs, adjective, and special connectors. Now I allow you only one slide. Last time was 3 slides. Now only one slide. Remember, one slide of PDF is allowed. Maybe only a picture, maybe a little bit of picture and a kind of like big letters, but not like the previous one, like PowerPoint. It's just like the poster of a place or the poster of a person. Okay. Sample topics, my favorite teacher, the view from my window, my pet, an inspiring monument, my favorite band, my favorite actor or actress, my favorite films, up to you. This is like personal, be creative as long as it's factual. Thank you very much. See you next week. Now, because this video is posted on YouTube, now the additional assignment is to put your name here and your comment about this video and how important it is factual speech course in your life or for your future. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.